Hi guys, I haven't done videos in ages. I filmed a video last week of a reaction of the first Vampire Diaries episode, which I kind of forgot to upload, so this is going to be going up at the same time, because this is the second one. So yeah, basically just my reactions of the episode each time. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start saying what I thought of it. If you've not watched it, don't watch this, like, unless you want everything to be spoiled. This is not spoiler free. I'm going to say basically everything that happens, so, you know, if you watch it and you've not watched the episode, don't blame me, because you've been warned. So yeah, as you'll see in my other video, I was not best pleased with last week's episode, the first one. We waited 5 months for it, and it just seemed to be an anticlimax to me. I don't know why, but I explain that in there a lot more clearly. This episode completely restored my faith in everything Vampire Diaries. I was really starting to worry about what this show was going on, that it was starting to go downhill or whatever, but this week completely just stepped up a mark again, and I loved it. It was just above Vampire Diaries standard. Last week was way below, and this week was above, in my opinion. So, where do we start? Oh god, I'm trying to remember the whole episode. Basically, I was off ill yesterday, and I'd kind of forgotten it was on because I was really out of it. And then I woke up and I remembered. So, I was able to watch that in bed, because normally I watch it at college. But there's no way I could have watched it at college this week, because I knew it was going to be sad. Which it was, and I did cry, so it was a wise move. So I watched it, and from start to finish, I was amazed. I absolutely adored it. I'm just trying to think where it starts, really. It's really difficult. Oh yeah, we start with the whole Damon Stefan sort of confrontation about, you know, she shouldn't be feeding straight off animals, which I agree with Damon. Yeah, that's another thing I should probably mention. I am not the biggest Stefan fan in the world. In fact, that's that's an underestimate. A complete understatement, because I really, really dislike Stefan more every episode, and I am a Delana shipper, so if you really can't stand people like me, don't watch this video. And I don't watch shitballs, but yeah, as you can see from my t-shirt, that is backwards because I'm filming it in my tab, but it says Team Damon anyway. I just happened to be wearing it today. So yeah, Stefan's not exactly going to be worshipped in this video, so if you're a big lover and can't stand to hear him being bashed, then I wouldn't watch this. He was annoying for me. I mean, you know, I know he was trying to get Elena to not feed straight off human blood, but as Damon said, it needs to be done. She needs to go off the rails at some point, and she, you know, they need to just do it slowly rather than automatically trying to make her feed off an animal. So you had the whole you're a vampire, Elena, be a vampire type thing. And then we have god, this scene, we have the lovely Elena feeding off the deer, and then we have a little bit of a Stelena touching each other type moment, and it looks like sex, and you're like, okay, vamp sex, and then she throws up. I mean, come on. I knew that was going to happen. I'd been told about it, and I laughed so much. And it was funny. I found it was funny. They're making out and taking each other's tops off, and then she just freezes and runs off and throws up. And Stefan just brushes it off. Oh, it's only deer. It's because, you know, I couldn't stomach animal blood to start with. It made me throw up for months, and it's just like, alright, don't go and comfort her then, you know. We have the whole, this may not be completely in chronological order because I can't actually remember everything that happened, but you have the whole, like, everybody obviously knows about the fire where Pastor Young just exploded everything in the last episode. I don't know why. And, you know, they're dead, and everybody thinks Damon's done it. And, oh my goodness, he sat there in the bar, and Elena comes and sits next to him, and he's like, this seat's taken. And she's like, there's nobody sat here. And he said, yeah, but in my eyes there are, because the alternative is too damn depressing. And it was a Larrick seat. And I was like, oh. And then everybody thinks Damon's done this when he actually hasn't for once. I mean, he says, I wouldn't blow people up, I'd have a mixed grill or something along those lines. Which he would. And, you know, he's saying, I did not blow them up, obviously. And then you have quite possibly one of my favourite ever scenes in the entire, well, 3 and tiny bit seasons. And of course, Damon leads Elena into the bathroom, locks the door, and you're just thinking, alright, and I'd already seen on the promo what happens. And he says you need warm blood from the vein. So he bites his wrist and gives it to her, and before you know it, she's... Oh no, we had the whole don't tell Stefan because blood sharing's kind of personal. Did she hesitate? No. You know, one scene she's virtually having sex with Stefan, the next she's out feeding off Damon, some things never change. And she's feeding off him, and oh my god, I think I physically stopped breathing then. I mean, it was perfect, just the way she lent his face, seriously, he was just like dying, and then she like pushed him into the wall and he was petting her hair, and he was just like, it was seriously hot. And I was just like, oh my god. Because can I just make a point here? Everybody's like, Stefan's had her virginity, Stefan's going to have her vamp virginity, which she's not lost yet, actually, can we say? So it might be Damon. And they're just like, you know, Stefan and Elena are closer than Damon and Elena ever will be. Have they ever done that? No. Has Elena ever fed off Stefan? No. And in the vampire world, in fact in the Vampire Diaries books, they don't have sex. Vampires don't have sex. Their way of having sex is by blood sharing. And that's more important to vampires than sex. So, I have logic behind my point. But that was amazing. And I was like, freaking out. Most of the episode was sort of Elena throwing up everywhere. We had the whole memorial when she was in that really nice dress, which soon got blood all over it. And everywhere. And then she tells him to hurry, and he hurries up. And then he gives her human blood, and she rejects that too, and he's just like looking after her. And it was so cute while Stefan's off doing Christ knows what, being an idiot. Sorry to anybody, but that's true. And Stefan and Damon is there looking after his girlfriend, which just kind of says it all, like he did the whole time that Stefan was off killing everybody. But you know, everybody seems to have forgotten and forgiven him about that. We had the introduction of Connor. How did I forget that? Two new characters, April and Connor. Connor was amazing because I was excited to see him anyway, because Todd Williams, the guy who plays him, I tweeted him over the summer when I knew he was going to be in it, and we've had a few little conversations about, he's tweeted me about 6 times. So as soon as I saw him, I was just like, oh, he's tweeted me, because you know, I haven't really been tweeted by any of the rest of the cast other than... Who has tweeted me? Oh, like the video editor. I didn't even know she existed before then. I think she's called Nancy something. So, yeah. And he tweeted me a lot, and I was like, so automatically I was like, oh my god, his character. And he was pretty badass. The whole Jeremy thing where he can see the tattoo and no one else can do. In the promo pictures of Jeremy, he has the same tattoo, so it's like, and we know that a really main character or a really like character everybody loves is going to go dark. Everybody assumed it was Bonnie, but I think it's Jeremy. It's like, oh my god. I'm kind of rambling because I can't remember exactly the order that it happened because I was kind of out of it. Again, excuse me while I look shit because I've been ill, but I had to do this. And oh god, what else do we have? I've completely gone off track. Oh yeah, Damon looking after Elena. She's throwing up, and he says, and she asks if he's dying, and he replies, "No, you're not dying." And then she says, "Maybe I'm better off dead." And his face, he's just like, "No, no, no, no." And it's really cute, and it was just perfection. My faith has been restored. And then, of course, we have Damon and Stefan have a little conversation because Stefan walks in on him, sees her drinking human blood, and then he says something about feeding off his blood, and Stefan goes mad, which, you know, I can't blame him, but having said that, Damon actually cared enough to know and to notice what she was doing, but he was just off gallivanting, doing, I don't even know what he was doing. And obviously the whole memorial was kind of a bit of a fad, and April was tied up somewhere bleeding with Connor. Tyler, oh my god, sorry. Tyler was just, he was quite funny. And Steroline, what am I gonna say? Caroline was like to Stefan, just like, you know, I'm gonna kick his ass, Todd, and everything. And I liked Stefan's little smirk there. And it was all sex scene. There was quite a few sex scenes, wasn't there? But it's Vampire Diaries, of course there was. There was Why do I keep saying sterilise? Stefan and Caroline aren't together. It was forward, and almost Elena until she threw up. Sorry, that's going to make me laugh for the rest of my life, every time I think of it. And Elena starts getting all losing it. So then she feeds off Matt in the middle of a funeral, you know, as you do. Makes it look like she's crying into his shoulder, and instead she's feeding off him, which makes perfect sense, of course. But you know, as you do. And there's the whole trap, and then suddenly Tyler gets shot. And a bit later on, Damon goes after Connor and gets his ass kicked, really. And Stefan, this scene, I can't even describe how much it pissed me off, because it really did. Stefan comes up, offers his hand to him, pulls him up, and then punches him, and he's like, what's that for? You know what? And I saw this thing on Tumblr, and I 100% agree with it. Yeah, you know what, Stefan? What are you punching him for? For looking after his girlfriend when you didn't? For that whole day, and for the entire last season, basically. Or she were off with Klaus and then tried to kill her a few times. Actually more than a few times. And, you know, knowing Elena better than he does, basically. And just for looking after his girlfriend. So yeah, he punches him, and he's such a wimp that he couldn't even punch him when he was actually stood up. I said this to my mum, and she was like, what a wimp, punching him when he's down. It clearly shows that Stefan couldn't take him, which he couldn't. And I was just like, yes, that is true. Like, she doesn't watch it, but I kind of force-fed it down her throat, like everybody. No, she's read the books. Well, she's watched like a few episodes, I think. I probably told her about the entire plots of everything, so, you know, she just goes along with it, really. And yeah, that really angered me. I couldn't shout because I had no voice, but if I could, I would have actually been shouting. I was squealing at the Delana scenes, laughing, and then trying to shout at Stefan. Like, I couldn't. And of course we had, after Tyler's all, you know, killed, but he's fine, we have Elena compelling April, and then she looks all happy, and Caroline's like all proud of her for compelling her, and it's like, yay. You know, really good. Okay, great, get to the important bit. But I do love Carolina. I'm starting to ship Carolina. I have issues. That is really not good, but I'm starting to ship her. Yeah, I like Carolina anyway. And then we have the little scene with Stefan and Elena basically arguing, and she starts breaking down, as you would. She's been a vampire for a few days and everything's going wrong. She says, I can't stop crying, and she's there crying herself, and she's all really upset, and she's doesn't know what to do, and all he can do is just be mad at her. I mean, come on, can't you understand? I mean, and then suddenly he's like, oh, I know what we need to do, and suddenly Stefan's all good again, and he's you know, redeemed himself by taking her, lighting some lanterns, getting everybody and getting them to light it and float it off in memory of everybody. I mean, it was quite a nice scene, and actually the song that played was by the Fray, and I bought the Fray album today, and I didn't know the song, but then I heard the song and I was like, that was at the end of the last episode, and I was like, that scene was cute. I felt for Damon when Jeremy was like, we'll get to the bad bit with Damon though, where Jeremy was like Alaric and he just looked at him and Damon just sort of looked away, and obviously he walked away because he's not the type to be like, you know, landing lightens and, you know, everything. But I did cry a little bit at that scene. It was just sort of, you know, Jenna and everybody and lighting it for everyone, especially Alaric. And then can we just talk about this ending scene, because it's, every episode has the most gift scene, you know, the ones that most people make edits out of and gifs. In this one it would either be the Damon and Elena little feeding bit, which was amazing, or the very very end scene, mostly the very end scene I think, because for all ships people just had to do it. And I am of course talking about Damon sat at Alaric's grave. I was crying so much as he talked to Alaric, and then Matt Davis comes on screen as Alaric and he just sat there, and even though you know it's impossible, for one tiny little second I thought he was alive again, and then I realised he was a ghost, and everything just it was just like Alaric dying all over again. And Damon's just there like basically saying, you owe me big because you died on me, you know, the way Damon acts, the way Damon deals with things. And Alaric just says, I miss you too, buddy, and that's it. And it's so sad. Oh my god, it was such a beautiful scene, but it was so sad. Like, I don't ship Alaric, I only ship them as friends, but I did love them together. It was nice for Damon to have a friend, and he loses everybody. And there's a quote saying that no candles and all of that will ever leave up for the hole that's in your life when somebody leaves. And I was like, like I had so many feelings. It was just, honestly, the whole episode was just perfection. It's restored my faith in everything. I think, judging by promos and such, that to balance out the ships this year, Julie Plec is doing Stelena episode, Stelena episode, Stelena episode, Stelena episode, because obviously the first one was all Stelena, and the second one was very, very, very much Stelena and driving a wedge between Stelena already. The promo next week doesn't look like Damon and Elena are together much. I think they are. He goes off, doesn't he, with Klaus by the looks of the promo, which, wow, Klaus is back. I miss Klaus. That was the one thing that could have been improved about the last episode, was the lack of originals, because we didn't have Klaus. Where the hell is Elijah? I mean, we've had Rebecca, but where is Elijah? He just disappeared. I love Elijah. He's just disappeared suddenly. Klaus obviously scampered off once he wasn't in Tyler anymore. That sounds really wrong. He wasn't in Tyler's body. Wait, that still sounds wrong. You know what I mean. He's now in his own body, his sexy Joseph Morgan body, as he should be. And he's back next episode, which is great, because TVD isn't TVD without Klaus and everybody, basically. It is absolutely amazing. And sorry, the promo does look pretty good, to be honest. Connor, there's a lot of Connor again, as we would have expected. The hypnosis seems to say that Rebecca returns for senior year or something. Next episode seems to be very Stelena-y, because they're on a motorcycle, which they look like idiots, to be quite honest. I mean, why are they wearing helmets? They're vampires. Why do they need to wear helmets? I get that the actors need to wear helmets, but why are the vampires like they're vampires and they don't need to wear freaking helmets? It's not like they're gonna die, is it? You know, they'll die momentarily and then they'll just come back again. Sorry, I'm just casually doing my hair. I look really bad today because I don't know. Ignore me. And we know that episode 4, which is not next week, week after, I've been waiting for that more than I've been waiting for the actual season to start, because it is Well, from all the spoilers, it's delaying the sex. Hands down. I mean, it leaves where episode 19 of season 3 left off, according to director. Well, where how far can they go? I mean, I always thought it would be blood sharing or sex. Blood sharing's done. How much further can they go? They said it's hotter than any scene that there's ever been. And it's also meant to be a very steamy moment because Caroline walks in and very much disapproves. Why are they always cock blocking them? First it's Jeremy, and this time it's probably going to be goddamn Caroline. I love Caroline, but I don't know. But to sum it up, that episode was pretty close to perfection. They did everything so well. I was very pleased with it, and I'm definitely more enthusiastic about this season now that my faith has been restored. And I mean, I was going to keep watching anyway, but it was completely amazing, absolutely amazing. I can't praise it enough. I absolutely loved it. So I'm very, very happy. For hours afterwards, I was still. I mean, TBD. I posted this on my Tumblr. There'll be a link in the description. I posted this on my Tumblr that it's the only show that can make you squeal, cry, laugh, and shout at your screen all at the same time. It's my favourite TV show. It sounds sad, but it's a massive, massive part of my life. Can I just say, I'm going to the Insurgents convention in Birmingham next year, Vampire Diaries, and Ian Somerhalder has just been confirmed. Oh, I'm meeting Ian Somerhalder. I freaked out about that. So now it's Ian Somerhalder, Nate who plays Cole. Where's Cole? He's never in it, is he? Daniel who plays Elijah, and Paul, obviously Stefan. So yeah, but there'll be more to come. All I want is Jomo now. Joseph Morgan and my panel is made. That is all I want. I mean, you know, I want any of them to go, but the main one I wanted was Ian. Now he's going. Jomo. I have. Oh, so excited. So yeah, I should get another one up next week after the reaction. Don't know when. It might be at the weekend. It might be on the Friday evening, but I shall see. So I shall wait patiently until then. Thank you if you carried on watching throughout my little rambling type session, and goodbye. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe and stuff if you want to watch the rest of them. This video really didn't go well. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm really out of it today. Okay.